What's your take on this win? A night where, again, you didn't really have to sweat this one out too much.
Yeah, it was a really good start for us. Thought we handled the ball all right in the first quarter. Rebounded all right in the first quarter as well. Obviously, you hold somebody 0 is a good defensive effort on the quarter. So proud of that effort. And then, we needed to keep working some different defenses for future games if we need to go to it. So we switched it up there and went man. And it's definitely a work in progress for sure. But no better time to try it out. You practice it, but when you get to a game, it can be totally different. So I'm glad we could get 3 quarters worth of some different defenses in there and some different rotations of kids in there. So, yeah, it was a good overall game for them.
Yeah, and in a game where, it gets over pretty quickly. I mean, yeah, you build up an insurmountable lead like that. Do some philosophies change? Obviously you mentioned you did kind of back up on defense, but, obviously you don't want to make it too tough on the opponent when they're already, kind of in a rough spot as a team.
Right. When it gets to that point, kind of, especially knowing that we might change defenses here tonight, it was more of, focus on what we're doing. We can always be in the right spot. Cutters, seeing them not in front of our faces, help side in the lane. So who we're playing, whatever the score is, you can always kind of control those things on where we're at. So that was kind of the mindset tonight is, build this thing up in our kind of normal stuff, and then let's try to work on some things with the defensive side of the ball. It didn't matter who we were guarding. And they made some adjustments, and that showed us some things, that we weren't thinking of. They went 5 out with it. Kier, in practice hasn't really guarded much of the outside the 3-point perimeter. So it was good to see that, when they do something like that, how she can kind of learn on the fly of different positionings and stuff. So, it was a good learning experience for us.
Yeah, and a good offensive night for your team. 71 points, the season high right there. Just over 51% shooting, so that's going to be a season high there as well. Not quite as good at the free throw line tonight. 9 of 21, 4 of 14 from 3, but really solid nights overall. Let's see here. Lorna Bernard, 17. I believe that's a career high for her in her freshman season. Kira Morris, 15. And Chloe Wangs is 13. So some really strong efficiency, especially with your top 3 scores there tonight.
Definitely. And we made it a focus after that Ackley game, especially. We I think shot 38% that game, which obviously we thought we had some pretty good looks and just didn't finish them, kind of weak through contact. So we went back to practice the last couple days and just banged on them down low and made sure that they finished and focused on finishing on the first try, And I thought they did a better job, obviously 50%. We still left some points out there, and then obviously the free throw line was a big red flag of, I think, 9 for 20 or 9 for 21. That was something under 50%, which can't happen going forward, especially in those big games. We were just talking about, Hudson and GR today. We're playing a close game, and we're going to have a lot of close games coming up. But, you're up with a minute left. You're up 4. The other team's going to foul you and put you on the line. Can you put them away with free throws, or are you going to let them hang around a little bit? And so, we need to lock in on the line a little bit, keep getting shots up there. So when we have an important game with a minute to go and we're holding on to a lead or whatever it is in close games, that we capitalize on every possible point we can get.
Mm-hmm. So a lot of your players on the team, you kind of knew what you were going to get here this season. But Lorna Bernard coming in here freshman season, just want to get your thoughts on what she's been able to contribute here this season. Did you kind of know what you might be able to get from her? I know you probably watched her at middle school levels and stuff like that, but, the start to the season she's had is pretty remarkable, isn't it?
Well, yeah, and when they do split seasons in middle school, so after, Christmas they're done now. So, but January 1st, she kind of made a goal to get a certain amount of shots, 2,000 shots a week on the gun from 3 alone. So from January 1st to August till about cross country started every week, and we charted it every week, and she she's close to 75,000 shots on the gun. So I kind of knew that, and I was there for all of them. So, anytime you have that kind of dedication and she wants to learn and wants to be good, and puts in the work for it. So, we put her out there, kind of figured, the speed of the game would be an adjustment as it is for any freshman, the physicality of it. But, I kind of knew that she'd be all right, especially shooting wise, she'd be pretty good. And then as just a good athlete in general. So I'm happy to see that she's producing, and she's going to keep learning and growing as the season goes on, and can be a real weapon for us down the stretch.
So 4-0, about as good as you can ask out of your first 4 games of the season, but you kind of ease into the schedule a bit, and now you get Denver coming to your place coming up next Tuesday night. They're ranked number 3 in Class 2A, coming off a big win over Sumner Fred tonight. So what's your thoughts on that upcoming matchup now that you're going to get a real test here?
Yeah, that's what we kind of talked about too, is the games are now we're going to have to kind of start living in the 40s a little bit if we're going to win them. That Denver game especially because, they're such a great defensive team and long, athletic. We have a hard time scoring against them in years past. So, we're not going to be scoring 60, 70 points on them. So, defensively, we're going to have to be really strong. They're big. They rebound really well. They have shooters. They have a lot of varsity experience. Everybody's back for them. So, we know it's not really a surprise of what they are and how good they are. So, it'll be a big test for us, and we'll have to be really focused in and tough in that game.
All right, just about out of time here, but NFL thoughts you'd like to share here today?
I'm glad our JV got a big win too. We've kind of, with the shortage of kind of girls basketball a little bit, we've kind of been shorted to a couple quarters, 2 quarters for a lot of the JV games, but they finally got a 4-quarter game in for the second time this year and putting up points, and they're learning on the fly too, and just glad to see them having success as well. So glad we could come away with 2 wins tonight.
You bet. AP girls basketball coach Brady Driscol joined me here on Radio on the Go Sports. Thanks for the time tonight.
You bet. Thanks, J-Mo.